quarterback in the league. Oh, what a catch by Jay Nathaniel. That touchdown, Hurricanes.
Junior taking a shot deep. Open target. Her third from left to right. Sets off. Oh,
Down.
watch who he's going to step. He's going to go for it. Fell from the sky into air ice.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, CFSL. We are live from Sanford Stadium between the hedges as the Auburn Tigers travel to Athens, Georgia to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. My name is Cade Padgett. Joining me in the booth is Dominic Barfield. Dominic, Thursday night is here.
Absolutely have been looking forward to this game all week. And if you're an Auburn fan, you are absolutely tuned into the voice in your ear right now. Looking forward to a high-powered game. Spoke to Beard previous to the game. He said that Auburn is going back to their roots. We should be seeing previous existence of smash-mouth, high-powered offense. Let's look to see if this Auburn team really comes out to show that they can still make a fight in the SEC this season.
And this is the Deep South's oldest rivalry, and it is headlined by two senior quarterbacks. And we see first Auburn led by Jay Duke. Two receivers to the bottom of the screen, I formation. Thomas Scally in the backfield. Duke turns around, hands to Scally. Scally running right, throws a stiff arm, tackle forward for an 8-yard gain.
Well, looks like Thomas Scally is going back to the old tradition of putting the paw on some defenders tonight. What a hard 8-yard run by Thomas Scally.
And for a team that's known to be passing the ball lately, Scally is a bruiser at the backfield. As Duke fires it over the middle, has Ragnar Wood for 11 yards, first down Tigers.
Love to see this kind of offense for Auburn starting out. Looks like Beard might have had some truth saying that they're going back to their old school style.
I mean, we know Beard loves to talk, and he's one of the best game planners in the league. Jay Duke gets it to Scally on the screen, running right. He's got blockers into Georgia territory. Thomas Scally, 15 yards.
Okay, you know what they say, 60% of the time, the screen works every time. What a beautiful execution, dumping that off to Scally and letting him scamper and pick up the first down. Auburn is moving, Cade.
Who said that 60% of the time? Sounds like a very old saying.
Wise man.
A wise man. I'd like to see the numbers, sir. We'll wait. We'll address that at halftime. 2-by-2 set. Scally off to the left of Jay Duke. Duke takes the snap. Hands to Scally running up the middle. Scally's got a lane running right into a pack of Bulldogs. 5-yard gain.
And it looks like we are going to be calling Scally often tonight. What a absolute start so far. Loving what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, and Scally's a guy that can get it going in the run game as well as the pass game. Duke fires it on a wide receiver screen to his man running left. Broken tackle, another broken tackle. Inside the 20 goes Haas Carter.
Well, when you've got a three-headed attacking tight end system like Carter, Morningstar, and Locklear, you absolutely should learn to get your big boy tight ends in motion early and use them. Looks like Beard's finally learning.
Three receivers to the top of the screen. One to the bottom. Duke hands off to his walk-on out of the backfield, Calvin Chambers for 4 yards.
Well, Kate, you got to imagine, Scally's absolutely got to be sucking wind after this first drive. He has been used in bunches. Absolutely let the walk-on come get some love real fast.
He may be sucking wind, but he is back in there on this play. Trips to the top of the screen. Duke takes the snap, fires it out of the back of the end zone, had no one open. 3rd and 6.
And a Duke tradition. Doesn't like what he sees and absolutely just pitches it out the back of the end zone. Live to see another play.
Just over 7 minutes left. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 to the top. Duke fires it into the end zone. Caught on the goal line. Maverick Berlin coming over from the defensive side. Onto the 1-yard line he goes.
Oh, love to see the generational talents come out and play both sides of the field. Absolutely trying to earn these 6 points.
You know, I don't know if Maverick Berlin is a generational talent or not. We just know that sometimes corners like to come over and dabble in offense. Jay Duke hands off to Scally. Too easy. Touchdown, War Eagle.
And War Eagle indeed. Georgia looked confused on that drive. They're gonna have to come out on their second attempt and really find a way to pencil this Auburn team in and get them stopped. Beard was 100% on brand. This looks like old school Auburn football that some of us are used to and familiar to seeing. And now it's going to be time for the other senior, Brandon Petty, to come out and lead his offense and show that they can get some scores. at home. And correct, no GTs here, Cade.
Yeah, 9 plays, 66 yards. Efficiency was the name of the drive for Auburn. Didn't really have any huge gains, but had a good couple 10 to 15 yard plays in there. And out comes the other senior of this senior on senior battle, Brandon Petty and the Georgia Bulldogs. Empty formation for the Bulldogs, 3 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Petty motions his receiver from right to left. Takes the snap, fires it on a wide receiver screen, and throws the man down. Thrown down for a loss is Lane Easton.
Wide receiver screen. Interesting.
We all know it's your favorite play. Don't act like it's
gotta love him.
Yeah, the wide receiver screen it's one of those plays that you either love it or you hate it. And on first down, that's not the worst time to call it, because if in the event it goes negative, like it did there, you still have second and third down to get back the yardage that you lost. Petty takes the snap, turns around, fakes it to Jed O'Reilly, staying in the pocket, fires it to his left side into traffic, and it is caught by Brady Chaffain, 13 yards.
And that was an absolutely sketchy throw. You had a whole plethora of defenders there, and what a way to find the ball in the keyhole.
2-by-2 set. Petty in the shotgun. Decides to call his own number on the read option, running like cuts it upfield, breaking a tackle, brought down for an 8-yard gain right near the 50.
You know, I've always said it for seasons. Brandon Petty absolutely is sneaky, athletic, and very gritty when it comes to on-the-ground running. But you don't want to get into that game when you have Jay Duke on the other side.
I'm not even going to bother with the Jay Duke and the quote-unquote running jokes. Offset I, Petty under center, fires it over the middle, has his man, Buck Hunter, the big tight end with his first catch.
Gotta love seeing the big boys getting love early and often. Makes a man happy. And what are you talking about, the running jokes? He's slow fast at 42 speed,
He's
pushing it.
White lightning indeed. 2-by-2 set. Petty hands to O'Reilly on the counter, and Lane Easton. Easton gets a yard.
And the offense is trying to make some movements, but this defense is playing checkers as well, holding to a minimal stop there.
3 receivers to the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom. Petty takes the snap, play action, hanging to the pocket, getting pressured, and fires it into the cheerleaders.
Now, absolutely had no time back there. As soon as he stepped back and looked up, immediately had pressure on his back shoulder.
It was lucky to even get that one off. 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Petty takes the snap, fires it over the middle, has a man on a drag route, caught by Buck Hunter. Needed 7, got 11.
Hey, when in doubt, find your big tight end. That security blanket comes in clutch.
Yeah, both of these teams have very good security blankets, with Buck Hunter for Georgia and Haas Carter for Auburn. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. Petty hands it to his back, running right up the middle. There is Lane Easton again for 6 yards.
Well, Kate, I mean, when you think of the SEC, you know, personally, I think tight ends. A lot of big tight ends come through these doors. Auburn and Georgia just do it better than others.
2 receivers to the bottom. Motion the tight end from left to right. Petty, pump fake, hanging in the pocket, fires it out. Everyone was covered by some tight man coverage right there.
Now, absolutely nothing doing, and Chewy Bach was absolutely smelling that ball in the air.
2 receivers to the top of the screen. Tight end to the bottom. Petty under center. 5-step drop. Hanging in the pocket. Fires it into the end zone. Testing the Auburn defense in Chewy Baca, and the ball hits the turf.
And Baca says seatbelt and holds Georgia to force the try for 3.
I feel like, and maybe this is just me, but that's not really the corner that you want to try if you're Auburn. The 42-yard field goal attempt is up, and it is through the uprights as Georgia gets onto the board 7-3. But if you don't target Chewy Baca, you're going to turn around and target Maverick Berlin, and at some point, you're going to be risking the ball right there.
No, Auburn absolutely has a great secondary, and they are a complete no-fly zone when need be.
And it's always nice when Chewy Baca on the return throws a stiff arm and gets another 10 yards. And you said you spoke to Beard earlier this week how he's going to get right back to what we know Auburn to be. And that first drive, that was exactly what they were. Can we expect the same thing this drive?
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't mess with it, right? It worked perfectly. Keep it going and run it until they stop it.
3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Scally to the left of Jay Duke. Duke takes the snap, fires it over the middle, has a man on a crossing route, caught and brought down at midfield. Haas Carter.
And the big tight end, 2 catches, 32 yards so far in the first quarter. Absolutely just open there on the post route, nobody there, and just perfect execution.
I mean, if you were in the Discord and you know the Auburn AD's name is Beard on Blast, so he loves his beard. But if you look at Haas Carter's avatar in YouTube and Discord, his beard is something to behold. Duke in the shotgun, hanging in, fires it out to his man out of the backfield. It is Scally, but Scally only gets a yard.
Yeah, sometimes you think maybe you just throw that away. Beard had it all the time in the pocket, and Duke just didn't like what he saw.
2x2 set. Duke calls his own number. Said I heard me call him slow and wants to show me wrong. 6 yards on the game.
Hey, you put some credit on Vanilla Vic. He earns his credit.
Vanilla Vic, not even. I mean, no, thank you. 3x1 set. Scally to the top. Duke hanging in the pocket, getting pressured, fires it over the middle, has a man, and probably had his arm get hit by an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. Seemed like he short-armed it.
No, absolutely. And the defense does find a way to get a hold on the second drive. Absolute progress.
And Jay Duke has one of the strongest arms in the game. And he had a couple guys open, so you got to give credit to the Georgia front seven as getting some pressure there and forcing Duke to short-arm it pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't say it any better.
Tight end to the bottom of the screen, 2 receivers to the top. Petty, 3-step drop, hanging in, fires it to his man on a slant. Caught by Jeff Master. I believe that is his first catch of the night.
Absolutely, and Master should be looking to put on a masterclass tonight with those sure hands and steady route running.
3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Petty in the pistol. Motions his tight end from left to right, takes the snap. Hanging in. Fires it, caught at the 30, up to the 35 for 10 yards.
And what a pickup for Shafane, his second reception of the night. Petty is looking good in the pocket. Auburn is sending pressure. Petty is maneuvering around, keeping his eyes open, trying to find the open man, and just hitting where he can, and he's not trying to force too much.
Yeah, if you're Georgia, this Auburn defense is really predicated on forcing turnovers, and you got to play smart football. 2 tight end set, motion of the tight end from left to right. Petty under center. Takes a 7-step drop, hangs in the pocket, fires it to his man on an out route. Buck Hunter for 3 yards.
No, absolutely tested Berlin, and Berlin absolutely just grabs him, brings him down, and says, I'm going to give you the catch, but you're getting nothing after that.
We have a Twitch update coming momentarily. Full house in the backfield for Georgia. Petty, play action, hanging in, fires it to his left side, has a receiver on the comeback route. Jaden Charles for 13 yards. Over on Twitch, it is a 6-yard touchdown pass to James Triplett as Tennessee takes the early lead on Florida 7-3 with a minute left in the first quarter. Empty set for Petty in the shotgun. Delayed quarterback draw, calls his own number, runs into the back of his offensive lineman, and still manages to get 6 yards.
That's just hard north-south running, just absolutely getting whatever you can and pushing yourself to the best. You're going to be happy taking 6 yards every time.
3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Petty, play action, hangs in the pocket, fires it to the right side into traffic. Ball hit the turf.
And what a deflection by Lewis Fuller, the linebacker.
And seemed like he had his hands on that. More of a dangerous pass than we may realize from Brandon Petty. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Tight end motion from left to right. Petty in the shotgun, hanging in. Fires it over the middle into traffic. Picked off. First turnover of the night for the Auburn Tigers. He's coming back. Kane Hargrave with the interception.
And Cade, like you said earlier, this Auburn defense is predicated on forcing you to make mistakes and getting turnovers. You had good drive. You were getting down the field. Just an absolute mistake with a long ball, and Hargrave was absolutely there to make that mistake. But you can also just look at it as an arm punt, and now you're forcing Auburn to really kind of march a good distance up the field.
You know, I'm all for arm punts, but when they're not on 4th down, it's kind of hard to call it an arm punt. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Duke in the shotgun, fires it to the top, has Ragnar Wood, 4 yards.
And just pitch and catch, just started off easy.
I formation for the Auburn Tigers. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. Duke Turns around, hands it to Scally. Scally met immediately and fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he does not. Smoke Vasquez on the tackle.
Now, Smoke wanted all the smoke and met Scally and absolutely brought down for nothing doing.
3 receivers to the top of the screen. 1 to the bottom. Duke hanging in, fires it to his man on a sit-down route. That is Scally out of the backfield. Gets 10.
And reset the chains and keep the drive alive. Auburn is looking to keep this slow and methodical so far.
3 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top. Duke takes the snap, hanging in the pocket, fires it deep to the right side, has the man streaking to the 20. Can they get him? Gets the block. Touchdown, Bobby Green.
Bobby Green just absolutely makes the defense pay on the go route and just turns on the afterburners. Beautiful strike in stride by Jay Duke. Georgia has got to look to find some answers here, Cade.
I want to make it known to everybody in the chat that I have hit puberty and that voice crack is not a factor of me getting older. I just got a little excited there for the Bobby Green touchdown. We love big plays. But yeah, the Auburn Tigers striking early and striking fast, up to a 2-touchdown lead with under a minute left. And Jet O'Reilly on the return. Seems like Georgia may have to start taking a couple shots.
And that's exactly what this Auburn defense wants you to do, is to take shots so they can capitalize off of misjudgments. That would be playing right into this defense's playbook, Cade.
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to take shots against the defense, the corners aren't the ones you want to target. It's the safeties. And it's not a knock on their safeties. It just speaks to the ability of their corners. Petty, hands to his running back up the middle is Lane Easton for 4 yards.
Oh, and to counterpoint that, Cade, you want to test the safeties. Well, Kane Hargrave already showed you probably shouldn't test the safeties.
I mean, completely fair. I get that. But I'd rather test the safeties than Chewy Baca and Maverick Berlin. Petty, play action, rolling to his right, fires it to his man on a corner route, caught by Brady Chaffain.
And what a frozen rope of a throw. Had 2 men over there in coverage, just absolutely puts it right where it needs to be. That is a senior level throw right there by Brandon Petty.
And it was a great throw. And I see Rashad in chat saying a safety just got an INT. I understand that, I do. And it was a great play by Hargrave, no doubt. But if you're comparing the safeties when you're comparing the corners, I'd rather test the safeties. Petty turns around and hands it to Lane Easton up the middle for 7 yards. Over on Twitch, a 16-yard touchdown pass to CJ Jackson as the Gators go up over the Volunteers 10-7 with 8:21 left in the second quarter. And that is going to do it. We are through 1 quarter in the Deep South's oldest rivalry. 14-3, the Auburn Tigers lead the Georgia Bulldogs. You are watching the CFSL presented by PX1 Sports on YouTube. And we are back for the second quarter, and Georgia starting it the same way they started the first. Empty formation. Petty fires it down to the bottom of the screen, has a man on the sideline. Chaffain got 3. First down.
As I said, Georgia has been tasked with needing to step up and find some answers on offense, and they are absolutely doing that so far.
Well, there's plenty of game time left. You don't need to get it all back on one play. 3 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Motion the receiver from left to right. You may see a wide receiver screen here. Brandon Petty takes the snap, pump fakes it to the wide receiver. Actually has it on a delayed tight end screen. That was a good play call. Buck Hunter for 4.
No, absolutely. I don't think the defense had seen that coming. That was absolutely called to perfection at a good time. I wouldn't be mad seeing that be called more often.
2-by-2 set. Petty calling a pump fake, almost got the defense to jump. Easton running left, throwing a man off, but gets back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 6.
Now, absolutely tosses one man, but gets met by a gaggle of Auburn defenders, just nothing doing.
A gaggle, you say? 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Petty on the screen pass to Easton for 4 yards and goes nowhere. Setting up a 4th and 10, and our producer's arguing with us. A gaggle swarm. Could it be considered a pack of tigers?
No, I don't think you go pack. And I am familiar that a gaggle is definitely for geese. I just like the terminology. It's my $5 word of the day.
Your $5 word of the day. I love it. And we're seeing a punt for the Bulldogs. They have an opportunity to pin Auburn here with a potential for the brand moment. And spoke too soon. Rolled into the end zone.
I was like, yes, Pride is would definitely be
but
I think a swarm works best.
A swarm of tigers. I'm not gonna lie. If someone said there's a swarm of tigers headed your way, I am scared to death. 3 to the bottom, 1 to the top. Duke in the shotgun, fires it to Carter on a delayed route, lowers his shoulder, gets 9.
Well, Kate, to be fair, if anybody says that there's any type of tigers coming to my area, I am absolutely already scared at that point.
I get that, but if someone's, there's a gaggle of tigers, yeah, I'm gonna chuckle a little bit. I may be scared, but I'm gonna chuckle. Duke hands to Scally running left, getting good blocks downfield, lowers his shoulder, 7-yard gain, first down Auburn.
And Scally is a hard man to bring down in the open field. That is an absolute beautiful tackle right there, bringing down the fast scampering Scally.
2 receivers to the top, 2 receivers to the bottom. Duke in the shotgun. 3 down linemen for the Georgia Bulldogs. Scally motions left. Duke hangs in the pocket, fires it to Scally, throws a nasty stiff arm, 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1.
And the paw on him continues by Thomas Scally. Absolute good throw there by J. Duke, putting it where he needed to be.
I formation for the Auburn Tigers. 3 down linemen for the Georgia Bulldogs. Motion the tight end from right to left. Duke under center. Turns around, hands it to Scally running left, and he is brought down. Massive TFL in open space by Tyrell Trust.
No, and that just proves, like I said, it is really hard to bring Scally down in open field, and Tyrell Trust absolutely just made it look easy as pie.
2 backs in the backfield with J. Duke. 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen. Duke takes the snap, has a screen pass to Scally. Scally's got blockers, has the first down, and a whole lot more inside the 40.
Well, Katie, they're saying 60% of the time, screen works every time. And just, again, perfect execution on the read by Duke, hopping that off to Scally. An absolute massive conversion for the big first down.
Well, I think there's some teams in the CFSL that need to look at what the Auburn Tigers are doing right now with the screen pass and maybe take some notes. They have had 2 very successful halfback screens early to Scally. 2 backs in the backfield with Duke. Duke pump fake, hangs in, fires off his back foot, and knocked away, deflected by the defender. Let's see, who is that? Number 1 is Chad McPherson. Yes, sir. 2 backs in the backfield, 2-by-1 set. Duke fires it to his back out of the backfield, a walk-on the screen, gets 5 yards.
And now that I get a quick second in here, kid, that is the one chink in J. Duke's game, is just the off balance, just throw and pray it sticks.
He likes to make some circus throws that we've seen a lot of them before, as the Auburn Tigers are running another screen, but Duke doesn't like it, and he is brought down. Ran away from the screen, 11-yard sack, LaCrissa Pettyjohn.
And LaCrissa makes her presence felt on a massive 3rd down. And for all intents and purposes, that is well now out of Auburn's field goal range, and they're going to have to settle for a punt. You look for the screen, it's not there, you look away. At that point, you've got to have that alarm in your head going, get rid of it, live to see another play.
I mean, if you don't like the screen, that's perfectly fine. It was 3rd and 5. Airbail it into the sideline, like you said, live for 4th down. You either A, take a long field goal attempt, or B, you give yourself a chance to go for it. As the punt is away and it careens into the end zone for a touchback. And the Georgia Bulldogs, with 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter, are going to be back on offense.
I was like, yeah, they've still got plenty of time. They don't need to be in rush mode. Brandon Petty just needs to slow it down and find a way to sustain a drive and get points here.
Offset I for the Georgia Bulldogs. Petty fires it into the sideline. Didn't like what he saw.
Nope, and absolutely. Chewy Baca puts the clamps on and just absolutely forces Petty Dash to throw that away.
Under center, 2 tight end set for the Bulldogs. Tigers showing blitz. Hands off to Easton. Easton running left and gets no yards. 3rd and 10.
There's been I've noticed a lot of rushing by Easton. Really should look to get Jet O'Reilly more in play and try to get the Jet to clear taxiway for takeoff.
Well, it seems like Lane Easton's getting the start tonight, so we'll wait. We'll see if we can see a lot from him tonight. 2 to the top. Petty fires it to his man on an out route and flattened his Brady Chaffin, but he moves the chains.
Moves the chains, but absolutely takes a shot there by Chewy, of course. Absolutely making his presence felt both sides of the field.
And 5 of the 13 completions for Petty have gone to Shafane. Petty gets it to Easton on the screen pass, breaks the first tackle, can't break a second. 4-yard loss on the play.
Well, Katie, as they say, 60% of the time, screen works 100% of the time. Seems like we found the 40.
And the Auburn defense saw it the entire way. Number 4, Cody Higdon, saw it from the jump and immediately followed. He was the first broken tackle, but he gave his defense a chance to rally and bring down Easton. Tight end receiver to the top, offset eye. Petty under center. Turns around, hands it to Easton again. Easton running right, gets 2 yards, sets up a 3rd and 13.
Wow, and absolutely a shot in the side by Teddy Driver. Was wondering when we were going to get to call Teddy Driver's name tonight.
It's a little curious call on 2nd and 14 to run an offset eye, but we'll wait and see if it pays off. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Auburn coming with a corner blitz. Petty over the middle, has a man, and an absolute drop. Heard footsteps, 4th and 13.
Now, turn that head around before securing the ball, and 9 times out of 10, that's going to fall right out of your hands.
We have a Twitch update, a 23-yard touchdown run by Kelby Fulton as Tennessee and Florida are going back and forth. Tennessee now leads 17-10 over the Gators with 3:55 left in the half.
Now, Kate, if you're Auburn, you've got 3 minutes, 47 seconds left. What are you looking to see here on this drive?
You know, we learned last night, my broadcast partner, Elon Olaf, and I, that we're in the booth for a reason because we don't know what they're going to do. And I would love to see Scally, but that if I say that means Jay Duke's going to throw it a bunch. Duke in the shotgun, fires it down the sideline, has a man streaking. Lance live, toe tap on the sideline for 23 yards.
That is one of my favorite names in the CFSL. I love a good landslide reference.
And just like I said, I was going to call for a Thomas Scally drive, and oh, hey, look, there's Lyde streaking down the sideline for 23 yards into Georgia territory.
No, absolutely. There's a reason why we're sitting up here in the booth.
2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Duke in the shotgun. Delayed draw to Scally, met immediately, planted the defender, but still loses a yard. Nick Lee on the TFL.
The 5th tackle of the night so far for Nick Lee. Not a bad performance going into almost halftime.
2nd and 11. Tight end in a up back position. 2 receivers to the top. Duke, pump fakes, looking deep, takes a deep shot into traffic, picked off by the Bulldogs. Breaks the first tackle as Jay Henry run out of bounds and gives a little life to this Georgia team.
No, and if you're Auburn, you hate to see that turnover at a time that's not a time to let momentum be shifted. But Jay Henry absolutely is going to capitalize on that and force the big turnover and gives Georgia a chance to cut into this lead heading into halftime.
We've seen that play a lot this season in the CFSL. It's a little bit of a screen and go where your outside receiver runs a one-step screen and then your inside runs it out and up. As Petty gets it to his man on a wide receiver screen, brought down for a 5-yard gain is Uriah Pace. That is his first catch of the night.
Now, quiet night for Uriah Pace. Absolutely should be utilized a lot more.
Yeah, and if you're the Auburn Tigers, I mean, you've done a great job so far reining in Petty and these offensive weapons for the Georgia Bulldogs, but your offense isn't helping you out any with that interception. Petty under center, hands it to Easton. Easton running right and brought down immediately. 4-yard loss. Hargrave in the backfield.
Now, Hargrave is absolutely flying around tonight and being at the ball at every opportunity he can present.
Tight end receiver to the top, 2 to the bottom. Petty gets it to Easton on the screen. He has blockers. Can he get there? He does. First down, Georgia.
And that's just a good, solid execution of the halfback screen. Caught it to perfection. Needed it. Absolutely got what you needed. And we reset the chains and moved this drive along.
I mean, you said it. He needed 8, got 9. So you can't complain about the execution there. As 2 receivers to the bottom, Petty fires it to his man on a wide receiver screen, lowers his shoulder. Uriah Pace with the Tony 10.
Wide receiver screen, interesting. Works there though. Can't be too mad about it. You'll take the Tony 10, disturbance and all.
We have a Twitch update coming after this play. 2 receivers to the top, motion the slot from right to left. Petty calling his audibles. Takes the snap, hands it to Easton on a counter, and he's got the first down and more. 6-yard gain inside the 40 over on Twitch. It is a 1-yard touchdown run by Aaron King. Florida ties it up with Tennessee 17-17. Just under 2 minutes left in the half. 3 to the bottom, 1 to the top. Petty in the shotgun. Takes the snap, hanging in, fires it to his man on a slant route, and knocked out of there by the defense. Good job by the Auburn Tigers.
No, absolutely. That was a big punch out there and needed that kind of stifle right there.
Tight end receiver to the bottom. Motion the tight end from left to right. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Now, Petty hanging in the pocket. Fires it over the middle. Kind of overthrew everybody there as it hits the turf.
Yeah, no, a rare overthrow over the middle by Petty. You had the receiver open. Just had to place it there. Rare mishap.
Petty in the shotgun. Delayed draw to Easton. Easton running right, fighting for yards. Gets 3, sets up a 4th and 7. They're in a little bit of no man's land.
And they seem to agree.
And they are going to go for it. It would be about a 53-yard field goal from right here, and still too close to punt, so I don't hate the decision. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. They're going to manually bleed this clock, so that way, if in the event they don't convert, Auburn's left with just a little less time.
Wow, I like the call. That is a 200 IQ call.
Yeah, I don't hate it one bit. It just seems like that the third down play would have been a little bit different. Or should have been a little bit different, getting a little bit more than 3 yards. Petty takes the snap, hanging in the pocket, fires it to the top of the screen. Brady Chaffin needed 7. He got 8. First down, Georgia.
Wow, that is a gutsy call. We rolled the dice, and it comes up 6s. You love to see that.
I see Bearden's chat saying, because I need time to throw it deep. Buddy, you already underthrew 1 receiver tonight, so I wouldn't put it past you to do it again. Petty fires it into the end zone, into traffic. Intercepted! Auburn stands tall. Chewy Baca on the pick.
Ow, and you learned that you can't test the free safeties. They pick it off, so you throw it at the corners, and Chewy absolutely says, I don't think so.
3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Just over 45 seconds left for Auburn and Jay Duke. Duke hanging in the pocket. Fires it to his man over the middle. Gets the first down. Broken tackle. Goes Ragnar Wood. Timeout, Tigers.
Good utilization of the timeout.
Empty formation for Jay Duke. He's been here a million times. Call under pressure. Hanging in the pocket. He's looking. He's stepping. He's rolling right. He's getting pressure. Got to get the ball off. Shakes the sack. Fires it deep downfield into traffic. Intercepted by Georgia. They repay the favor. Bringing it back. Turnover. Turnover after turnover. Brady Cassini.
Pick City be the story of the first half, Cade. Absolute just going yard and testing everybody, and the defenses are just not having it tonight. What a also back and forth momentum shift for Georgia.
I mean, yeah, that's what you needed if you're the Georgia defense. 2-by-2 set. Petty hangs in the pocket, gets it to Easton, 3 yards. Timeout.
Nope. Now you've got 2 timeouts. You've got the length of the field to go, and let's see what Georgia dials up.
3 to the bottom, 1 to the top. Beard, I see your comment in chat. I'm going to talk about it in just a second. As Petty hangs in the pocket, fires it to the top of the screen, has a man on a sit route, broken tackle, goes Buck Hunter and out of bounds. After that interception, Chewy Baca is now the all-time career leader for interceptions in the Auburn Tiger history. Congratulations to Chewy Baca.
Have a day, Chewy.
2-by-2 set. Petty hanging in the pocket, has it to Easton on the screen. Easton running right, can't outrun the defenders, brought down for a loss. Timeout, Bulldogs.
As a former teammate of Chewy, it makes me happy to see that man, with all the hard work he's put in, take that record and own it.
2-by-2 set. Petty motions his slot receiver from the left to the right. Takes the snap, hanging in the pocket, takes a deep shot, has a man in between the zone coverage. First down, Georgia. They're going to go fast. Jaden Charles on the catch.
Okay, Georgia's starting to knock on the door here.
They're going to go quick, like we said. 10 seconds. Petty takes the snap. Auburn blitzing. Into the end zone goes Petty. Caught by Jeff Masters. Steps out at the 1. 5 seconds in the half.
Call me crazy, Cade. I kind of like the stepping out of bounds there instead of scoring. It gives you another chance. It gives you another play. You go ahead. Okay, not what I had in mind.
I figured this was possible just because of the amount of time that was left on the clock. But if there was about another 1 or 2 seconds, you think that Georgia would be able to run a play and then use their timeout if they don't get in. And it's heartbreak for the Georgia Bulldogs because you feel like there's a touchdown left there on the board, but they're double dipping because with 3 seconds left, they're going to get the ball to start the second half, barring an Auburn kickoff return here for a touchdown. And it doesn't. Berlin for 25 yards. We are through one half of our first Thursday night game. The Auburn Tigers lead the Georgia Bulldogs 14-6. You are watching the CFSL presented by PX1 Sports on YouTube. We are at the halftime break, Dominic. It was a very wild last minute of play in that half. Break it down for us.
Perplexion. I'm still scratching my head at the end of it. Yes, I understand. You're double dipping. You're getting the ball at half. You still have 5 seconds. You can bleed a couple more seconds off that clock. Take a shot. If nothing, you still have a timeout, and you can get the field goal off. I really feel like Georgia left points there in a time where Georgia did not need to leave points. You're still down quite a bit. You really needed that jab there going into half to really kind of revitalize going into the second half. I feel like if you're Auburn, Auburn's kind of happy that Georgia made that decision there and keeping that lead as big as it is. Georgia's going to have to come out in the second half and really answer, and these stats here tell the tape.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's leaving points out there, and we know how the AI operates and revamped. If it had been like 6 or 7 seconds, they would have gone for it with the timeout. But 5 seconds left, it just wasn't enough time for them to reasonably run another play. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would have run another play, but if you're Georgia, you take it from a 2-possession to a 1-possession game. Now you have the ball coming out of the second half, and you can realistically get right back in this where your defense has kept you in this game. I mean, we saw it on that last drive. Jay Duke rolling right, throws a man off, heaves it a mile, and it is intercepted by Georgia. So, I mean, Deep South's oldest rivalry is living up to its name so far.
No kidding. It is an absolute game of two teams who hate each other with a passion.
And the stats are about as even as they can get outside of Auburn or Georgia running significantly more plays than Auburn. 2 tight ends set to the top. Petty in the pistol, turns around, hands to Easton. Easton running up the middle, doing a little bit of left-right running, gets 5 yards, 2nd and 5 coming up.
Easton is absolutely taking every bit of advantage of getting to start tonight and is trying to make an argument on why he should be the starter moving forward. Love that kind of run to start the half.
And we see the Georgia AD in the chat, Gene, saying they've struggled in the red zone, so he's not mad at getting points, and I can't hate that. As Easton running right gets met immediately, brought down for a 1-yard loss. Rashad Watson on the TFL.
Ow. Watson's 7th tackle of the game, absolute making an impact on the defense, stifling at any opportunity that he can. And now you're looking at a 3rd and medium on a money down.
Georgia is not been efficient on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 8. 2 receivers to the top of the screen, 2 to the bottom. Petty fires it to his man down the seam in the absolute breadbasket of a throw to Brady Champagne. 1st down into Tiger territory.
7 receptions, 10 yards shy of the century mark. What a game so far tonight. And a beautiful shoulder throw right behind the DB's head by Brandon Petty.
And Claude Perkins is on the coverage right there. You have to think that he even gets his hand halfway up, and it's a deflection. 3 to the bottom, 1 to the top for Petty. Petty takes the snap, hangs in the pocket, fires it to his right side on a double out route into traffic, deflected away.
And Auburn's going to be happy with that lockdown defense there. And deflection by Cam Thomas on the play.
3 to the bottom, 2 to the top. Empty set for the Georgia Bulldogs. Most of the slot receiver from left to right. Petty, pump fake on the screen, hanging in, fires it deep downfield, has a man streaking, touchdown, Dogs, Buck Hunter, 42 yards.
And that is a big play by the tight end when you need it. Petty takes a shot on the delivery, and Buck Hunter does it all from there. Completely open, walks in untouched, and the Georgia Bulldogs are in this.
And they go for 2, and they convert the 2 on a slant route to Master, and it's a tie ball game. 7:56 left in the 3rd, 14-14.
Call me crazy, Cade. This game is not as comfortable as Auburn wanted it to be going into half. It's going to come down to Jay Duke, Thomas Scally, and company to come out and show that they can still hang in.
Yeah, I mean, prior to this season, Auburn they were unbeatable in the regular season, going 8-0 and back-to-back years to put together 16-0 or 16-0 regular season record across 2 seasons, and they're 2-2 right now. So we love it because the parity in the league means every team is getting better. But if you're Auburn, this may be a little bit of uncharted territory as Jay Duke fires it over the middle, has Hoss Carter, says my tight end can do it too.
You know what, Kate, I was getting ready to say, you got to wonder if losing a stellar senior tight end made all the difference for the offense at Auburn. But Hoss Carter steps in and says, hey, we're good. I can do the same thing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, Hoss Carter has been fantastic for Jay Duke and the Auburn Tigers. And I see Gene in chat, don't pull him down. Auburn's fantastic. Oh, yeah, Auburn is still the team to beat. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. We got beat by them earlier this season. Jay Duke fires it, overshooting Hoss Carter. But it's just to mention that the CFSL in the regular season now is any team can now beat any team. It's not like you look at Auburn on the score sheet and think, oh, that's an easy win for Auburn. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Duke in the shotgun, fires it to Scally out of the backfield, turns it upfield, broken tackle, 1-yard gain, sets up a 3rd and 9.
And as Beard says, having no walk-on starting on any team is huge. Absolutely have to agree.
Oh, we know, and we know Auburn is also known as walk-on university for the backup running backs, as Duke fires it to his man over the sideline, caught by Bobby Green, 29 yards into the red zone.
Okay, no kidding. Auburn is absolutely walk on you when it comes to running backs. They've had a plethora of incredible walk-on performances by halfbacks in Auburn history.
Yeah, and I talked to Beard about it, and he says it with like a little bit of a grit in his teeth when he talks about it. It's always funny when he does. 3 to the bottom, 1 to the top. Duke takes the snap, fires it to his man sitting down, and Hoss Carter. Not a man you get to see playing it often, but his neck hit the ground first.
No, and I believe that was Smoke Vasquez out there laying the lumber. I believe, that is Smoke Vasquez absolutely just putting him on his backside. What a shot.
Yeah, and if you're the Auburn Tigers right here, it's just keep doing what you're doing. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Duke on the wide receiver screen. Played well by Georgia, but a little overran. Landslide still gets a yard.
Nah, that play, not a big fan of, but they're going to be happy with what they got out of it.
4 for 6 are the Auburn Tigers on 3rd down tonight. Two backs in the backfield with Duke. Duke hanging in the pocket. Fires it to the right side. Hoss Carter, 10-yard touchdown, and the Tigers are back in front.
And back-to-back drives, back-to-back tight end touchdowns. The big men are cooking tonight. Absolutely love to see it, and that is an answer back by these Tigers.
It was a great response by Auburn after the touchdown and 2-point conversion by the Georgia Bulldogs to start the 3rd quarter, and they get right back in front and give their defense a chance to get another interception. And our producers over there, the Hoss.
Oh, wait, I got you, kid. I got you. Hold on.
You go ahead.
Hoss, what a first career touchdown by the big fella. Hats off to you, sir.
His first, I have a hard time believing that. I mean, I looked at the stats. Don't get me wrong. I understand it's his first career touchdown, but I have a hard time believing that's his first career touchdown. He's been effective, to say the least, for the Auburn Tigers through these first 5 weeks.
Sneaky athletic tight ends, Auburn tradition.
3-by-1 set. Petty in the shotgun, hangs in, fires it to his man on an out route, and drops. 2nd and 10.
And that was an absolute pure demonstration of turning your head upfield before securing the ball. That head snaps forward and that ball sails right out of the hands.
Full house set for Georgia. Petty turns around and hands it to Easton, and Easton brought down immediately. Auburn brought the house, and King Demora came through virtually untouched.
No, absolutely. Had a little bit of a shed, but just met him in the backfield and nothing doing. 2-by-2
set. Petty in the shotgun. Tight end motions from left to right. Petty takes the snap, hanging in, fires it to his man on an in route, and heard footsteps. Another drop for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Hey, you know, Kate, I've heard some rumblings that Auburn's a second half team, and it looks like so far they are living up to that nickname.
The only people that say Auburn is a second half team are the Auburn Tigers. I mean, oh my God. Yeah, everyone thinks that their team is a quote unquote second half team, and it's just a little bit of a jab to say, like, oh yeah, we had a rough first thing. You know, we're a second half team. We're a second half team. So we'll wait and see if they really are a second half team, as Duke on the pump fake hangs in the pocket, rolling right, steps back left, takes a deep shot into traffic, hits the turf. Tyrell Truss with the deflection.
Truss was absolutely looking for that one, and I think he's going to be okay with the deflection, but I'm pretty sure he wanted to get that back in blood.
Oh, he'd rather have his second interception of the night, I can guarantee you that. I formation for Auburn. Duke gets it to Scally on the screen. Scally running right, gets 4 yards, sets up a 3rd and 6.
You know, really crazy, Kate. I feel like it's been a good minute since we've actually said Thomas Scally's name out loud.
It's entirely possible, because for as good as he is, this Auburn offense is predicated around Jay Duke in the passing game. Duke hangs in the pocket on an empty set, and it is dropped. Seems like these teams had a little too much popcorn at halftime with a case of the dropsies.
Yeah, Mizzy was trying to get busy and absolutely just dropped it.
Mizzy was trying to get busy. That's the one we're going to go with.
Yeah, shout out to Josh Mizzy. Absolutely. Mizzy gets busy.
You know what? You're a former Tiger, so I'll let you have it.
Well, okay, it's also my best friend, so I'm gonna be a little biased.
To be fair, yeah, okay. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Petty fires it to Easton out of the backfield. Easton turns upfield, breaks the tackle, needed 10, got 10.
Wow, absolutely. I'd like to see this kind of energy coming out of Georgia. If they can keep this up, this could be a little different.
I formation for the Georgia Bulldogs. Heavy run set. Petty turns around, hands it to Easton. Easton up the middle, has a lane. Best run of the night for the Georgia Bulldogs.
No, absolutely. That is some good hard running by Easton. Getting tripped up, but absolutely finding a way to stay balanced until getting the first.
We have a Twitch update coming after this play. 2x2 set. Petty delayed draw to Easton, and there's a flag, and it is going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
And that's just killer for the Auburn defense. Tack on another 15. Chewy Baca on the penalty. Over on Twitch, it is a 17-yard touchdown pass to C.J. Jackson, his second of the night. Tennessee still leads over Florida 26-24 with 2:25 left in the third.
Uncharacteristic penalty by Baca, might I add.
No, he's usually very disciplined on the defensive side of the ball, and it seems like his hand was just in the wrong place. As Petty turns around, hands to Easton. Easton has a lane, skips it to the outside, 17-yard run, knocking on the door of the red zone.
And you can thank Rashad Watson for pushing him out of bounds, because if he has a little bit more bounce in his step, that is absolutely going to the crib. What a stop when needed.
He tackled him by the legs, Beard, because he brought him down by the face mask, and his face mask was by his shoes. 2x2 set. Petty in the shotgun. Calls his own number on the read option, and Auburn saw it the whole way. Big number 73, Kirk Williamson on the TFL.
And just a absolute big stop right there. Needed that. That is starting to put some momentum back on the Tigers defense.
We talk about how Auburn is known as a walk-on university for the running backs. Kirk Williamson is a walk-on defensive tackle, as Petty brought down again on the read option, this time not by a walk-on, but by King Demura.
Which is crazy, because how deep Auburn is on the defensive line, seeing a walk-on getting in and playing is absolutely baffling.
2 receivers to the bottom, tight end receiver to the top of the screen. Petty in the shotgun, takes the snap, hanging in, getting pressured, fires to the middle, and another drop.
I think both teams have a case of having popcorn in the locker room at half.
And it's like that Brucey moment from The Longest Yard. Knew I shouldn't have had that popcorn. And it's just missed opportunity after missed opportunity for both of these teams right now to start the second half. But Georgia does come away with points. to close it from a 7-point lead to a 4-point lead. 3:30 left in the third quarter.
Now, you're going to be happy to walk away with points. It's not the way you wanted to end the drive, but if you can cut into a lead, you're going to take that every chance you can.
And Baca on the return, gets a cool 24 yards, sets up Auburn nicely. And if you're Auburn at the top and Jay Duke, you have to feel like we're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Don't come out throwing like Brucey.
Jay Duke has never thrown like Brucey in his 4-year career. Duke hanging in the pocket, hits Scally out of the backfield, 3-yard gain.
Would have been a real horrible jinx call if that would have happened right there. I think Beard wouldn't have talked to me ever again.
He wouldn't have talked to me. I've had some pretty awesome announcers jinxes on the call, so I'm glad that wasn't one of them. Duke takes a deep shot into traffic. Diving for it was his man, broken up by Nick Lee, 3rd and 7. Over on Twitch, it is a 63-yard touchdown pass to Ace Shepard. Hennessy takes a 33-24 lead over Florida with 1:40 left in third.
Ooh, I apologize. I got choked up on that dive.
Duke gets it to Scally out of the backfield, and the Georgia defense forces a 3-and-out after they just went and got a field goal. Good job by the Dog defense.
Now, the momentum is just shifting both ways back and forth. No team is really just comfortably taking advantage, per se.
I mean, would we expect anything different from the Deep South's oldest rivalry? I mean, it's the SEC. It's two teams that absolutely hate each other, and it doesn't matter if Auburn's 7-0, Georgia's 0-7, or vice versa, or they're knocking on the door of the playoffs, or whatever the case is. This is always going to be an absolute heavyweight slugfest.
Absolutely.
Petty in the pistol, takes the snap, hangs in the pocket, fires it to his right side, has a man on an out route, caught by Brady Shafane, 3 yards.
Like you picking up my terminology there, using slugfest, like that.
3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Total yards nearly split. Petty takes the snap, hands off to Easton running right. He has some room, throwing a stiff arm. Good first down run by Lane Easton as he gets up to 71 yards on the night.
That just angry, aggressive running refused to go down.
2 to the top, tight end receiver to the bottom. Petty under center. Takes the snap, 7-step drop, calls his own number immediately. Running, gets sheds off the tackler, gets a Tony 10.
Oh, I feel a disturbance in the force. And if you're Beard, you're looking for that flipping call.
Yeah, Beard's always looking for something. 3 to the top. Hand to Easton running right. Throws a nasty stiff arm. Gets the first down.
Oh, absolutely. That was massive. Also, I want to take a quick moment to shout out everybody in chat. Thank you guys all for coming and hanging out with us tonight.
Yes, absolutely. Me and Dominic are trying to make Thursday Night YouTube the best place to be, and you guys, we can't do it without you. Petty fires to the middle, and another drop by his receiver. Turned upfield before he could catch it.
Well, see, here's the thing, Cade. Actually, I'll get back to my point after this play.
That wasn't your receiver. That was Jakari Brown on the incompletion. Got a little excited, wanted to turn it upfield. Easton running right, cuts it up middle, gets 3 yards.
You know, you say we want to make Thursday Night YouTube the place to be, but seeing as I'm sitting next to a mid-season, broadcaster of the year candidate, it might not be long before you're called up to the big leagues.
You know what? I'm just happy to be in the company of the guys that Cole wrote about in that article. As Petty finds his man on the sideline, a little bit of a toe tap by Brady Shafane as he goes over the century mark.
About time. And yes, absolutely love having, me and Kate in the booth tonight.
For those of you that don't understand that reference, it goes back to last night, me being chastised in the booth when I was up here with Elon as Lane Easton gets a 0-yard gain on first down. We have a Twitch update coming momentarily, but, Dominic, I'm just glad that I was even mentioned in the article with Ryan Ware and just some very serious competitors and great play callers in the CFSL. Easton running left, gets nothing, sets up a 3rd and 10.
No, absolutely. I ended up there at the end of the last season. It's an absolute honor to be along those. So my hat's off to you. I am so happy for you to be in that conversation.
Over on Twitch, we'll get it just after this play. I apologize for letting that slip. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Petty hangs in the pocket, Fires it to the right side into traffic, deflected away. Bad decision by Brandon Petty. Over on Twitch, a 12-yard touchdown pass to Brandon Webb as Florida answers back. Tennessee still leads 33-31 with 3 seconds left in the third. There's a lot of threes going on over on Twitch. And we got 3 over here, too, as Georgia gets the field goal to close the gap to a 1-point game, 21-20, 8 seconds left in this third quarter.
See, now it's gonna come down to let's see which Auburn comes out. Do we see Auburn of the last couple weeks, or do we see old school Auburn coming out and just predicating on that high octane offense? You're gonna want to sustain. You're gonna want to build this lead up. And if you look at the last 5 drives, punt, touchdown, and a half in a pick, you're gonna want to find a way to sustain and get some points going.
There was only one good drive, and it was their first drive out of the second half to get the touchdown to go up at the time, 21-14. Duke hanging in the pocket, fires it over the middle, has a man, Ragnar Wood, for 6 yards, and that is going to do it. We are through 3 quarters in the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Auburn leads Georgia 21-20. You are watching the CFSL, presented by PX1 Sports on YouTube. We got 9 minutes left to decide the Deep South's oldest rivalry. A little stutter there, I apologize. Duke in the shotgun, fires it over the middle, has Scally on a sit route, broken tackle, 8-yard gain.
Kate, it wasn't a stutter. With getting this close into the fourth quarter, how tight a score it is, that's just pure excitement. We are on pins and needles waiting for the ending of this game.
I mean, we've been really blessed, Dominic, to have some awesome Thursday night games the last few weeks, and this is going to be another one. 2-by-2 set. Duke fires it to Scally out of the backfield as he was getting hit. Scally throws off the first man, and into Georgia territory he goes.
No, absolutely, Cade. These last couple weeks, the Thursday night games on YouTube have been incredible games.
And Scally, 11 catches for 86 yards, doing it very well through the air tonight. Duke hanging in the pocket, getting pressured, fires it deep downfield into traffic. Back shoulder throw, Josh Mizikar, touchdown Auburn.
Mizzy gets busy. Touchdown Auburn. What a missile by Jay Duke, finding the wide open Mizikar shallow in the end zone, and just an emphatic way to restretch that lead. Georgia is stunned right now, Cade.
Yeah, I mean, when the safety's playing over the top like that, it's a good decision by the senior quarterback, Jay Duke, to underthrow it a little bit, let his receiver come back to it, or, kind of just slow down, stop a little bit, let the safety overrun. So even with the touchdown, it's still a one-possession game for Georgia, as it is now 28-20.
Beer says he owed me that one. I can't argue that one.
2 tight ends, I formation. Turn around, handing it to Easton. Easton, 1 broken tackle, can't get past the second one. 4-yard gain.
Yeah, but with at 4 yards, you're going to be happy with that. You keep that up, you'll never see a fourth down.
Empty. They go from a heavy run set to a heavy pass set. Empty formation. Motion the receiver from right to left. Petty fakes the wide receiver screen. They went back to the tight end screen, and he overshot his man. 3rd and 6.
Just an uncharacteristic, just over missile there by Petty.
2-by-2 set. Petty in the shotgun, takes the snap, hanging in, fires it over the middle, has a man on a slant route. It's Jaden Charles for 13 yards.
Georgia's starting to get a little bit of motion here. It's going to come down to Auburn's defense trying to get a stop here and forcing them to get that ball back.
Full house formation for Georgia. Auburn showing a blitz. Triple option for Brandon Petty, calls his own number. Had his pitch man brought down, but gets 9 yards, 2nd and 1.
Now, good call, holding it on the read and calling his own number. And what a explosion out of the backfield by Brandon Petty.
Offset I formation for Georgia. Motion the tight end out from the end of the line of scrimmage to a receiver. Petty hangs in, fires it to his man out of the backfield, inside the 40, inside the 35. Broken tackle goes Shakari Brown.
And the other tight end getting his name called. Cade, we are seeing tight ends being utilized a plethora tonight.
I mean, when you think of the tight ends that are in this game, they're They're some of the league's best with Haas Carter and Buck Hunter, but don't forget about Jakari Brown. He could do it too. And the Georgia offense is on the move. They're inside the 35. They're doing exactly what they need to do. 3 receivers to the top of the screen, 2 to the bottom. Motion Easton from left to right. Petty in the shotgun. Pump fakes to Easton. Fires it back to Easton as the defender's right there. Poor decision by Brandon Petty. Easton loses 3 yards, 2nd and 13.
Yeah, not a real big fan of that call right there. I'd rather you throw that away and not take the loss of 3 yards. You cannot take any chances right now to be moving backwards. You've got to get points here, and you cannot settle for 3.
And you have to think that the pump fake there kind of froze the defender, because if he had thrown it on the first take, it would have likely been a pick 6. Petty turns around, hands it to Easton running left, throwing a stiff arm, but more Tigers rally, or excuse me, Jet O'Reilly. First time we're calling his name tonight.
Actually, I believe that's the second time we've called Jet. I think Jet had a passing target in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
He may have had a passing target or a kick return or something, but that's his first time being called in the running game. We have a Twitch update coming momentarily. 2x2 set, Petty in the shotgun. Hangs in, and he is brought down. 6-yard loss on the play. Jared Cook on the sack.
And his first sack, but his second tackle for loss tonight. What a performance by Jared Cook. And Auburn wanted that, and they got that stop right there.
And over on Twitch, it is a 20-yard touchdown run by Jack Schmidt as Florida takes the lead, and they go for 2 and convert it. It is now a 39-33 game. The Gators lead the Volunteers, 5:17 left in the fourth quarter. And that ball skyrockets into the end zone for a touchback, and Jay Duke and the Auburn Tigers offense is back on the field. You have to think that there is no conservation here for Auburn. They're going to go for it. Tigers, Duke takes the snap, takes a deep shot downfield, caught on a back shoulder throw. Landslide for 51.
All gas, no brakes, Cade. Auburn said, we are not sitting back. We are going to press the tempo. And landslide with the bomb of a catch. Just absolutely got in perfect position, let the corner overrun the route, and just massive conversion.
Yeah, and let him overrun the route indeed. And it's just one of those plays that you got to give. It's not a bad play by the corner, but it's just a better play by line. Duke takes the snap, hangs in the pocket, fires it to Haas. Carter coming back to it. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
Well, Cade, we might see some controversy post game. Seems like we might not be having Jay Duke be Jay Duke back there tonight.
Yeah, Jay Duke sitting on the sidelines, and it's a 55-year-old Brett Favre in the backfield. 2 receivers to the top, 2 backs in the backfield. Duke hanging in the pocket, dancing around, trying to get it off, but he can't get away. The Dogs defense stands up, and it's LaCrissa Pettyjohn, her 2nd sack of the night.
And both defenses are just stepping up in massive moments right now. Auburn needed that, and Georgia also needed that right back. Georgia is fighting, and they are doing everything to stay in this.
You have to think that if the Georgia defense cannot give up any yards here, that they actually might force a punt. Duke in the shotgun, hanging in, fires it deep downfield onto the sideline. Caught by Maverick Berlin. Coming over from the defensive side for the catch on the sideline. They're not even going to review it.
No, that was massive, Cade.
3-by-1 set. Duke in the shotgun, hanging in, getting pressured again, and brought down again. The Georgia defense starting to wake up. Joseph Bailey with the sack.
You know, just everybody getting big plays here. And I'm pretty sure that's a walk-on with a sack.
I tell you what, man, for as good as these two teams are, the walk-ons are actually getting a lot of love and a lot of success tonight, and we love to see it. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 to the top. Duke in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it to Scally running up the middle, and the Georgia defense is ready for it. 3-yard gain, 3rd and 14.
Oh, it feels like Auburn's AD talking smack about their previous tight end might come back to bite them, as this defense is barking right now.
And Beard in the chat saying teachers are overrated. I'm a teacher, sir. I'm not overrated. Duke gets it to his walk-on Calvin Chambers on the screen. Georgia all over it. 4th and 15. You have to think that Auburn's going to settle for 3 here.
Oh no, absolutely. They're gonna let their kicker come out and just absolutely boot it up and try to extend the lead. There's no reason to test it. No reason to get crazy.
If you're Auburn right here, the chance to extend it to a 2-possession lead with under 4 minutes to go. And the kick is up, and the kick is good by Melanishin, and it is now a 31-20 lead. The Auburn Tigers over the Georgia Bulldogs.
You said you're happy to extend the lead. You've now pushed it to 2 possessions. Now time is starting to not be Georgia's friend. Georgia's going to have to find a way to make an emphatic score quickly.
Beard, we're not friends anymore. He says a specialty teacher's named Cade. That's not very nice.
Yeah, I've never known Beard to be nice. That sounds on brand.
And my students would beg to differ. I'm their favorite. As Petty turns around and hands it to Easton for a 5-yard gain.
I'm sure you're just happy to be someone's favorite, Cade.
I am my wife's favorite. That's all that matters.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Offset high for the Georgia Bulldogs. Petty turns around, hands it to Easton. Easton up the middle for 3 yards, sets up a 3rd and 1, but the clock is your enemy right now if you're Georgia. A little too conservative on the play calls.
No, absolutely not. But however, you have to admit their run game has been effective tonight.
Oh, it has, absolutely. But when you're down 11 with 3 minutes left, you need to abandon it. Petty gets it to Easton on the screen, and the defender jumped over the offensive lineman.
Wow, that's just dedication to how bad do you want it. And Georgia comes out to answer.
Empty set, 3-by-2, and 3 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Petty in the shotgun. Fires down on the bottom of the screen, has his man on a sit route. Caught, first down, Jed O'Reilly.
And the sit-down route works to perfection. You are happy to see that.
2-by-2 set now. Petty in the shotgun. Hanging in, fires it to his man on the bottom of the screen. Jed O'Reilly again stepped out of bounds, 9-yard gain.
Some stank on that post whistle. That Georgia's trying to fight for it.
2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Petty under center, motions just tied in from right to left. Left to right. Petty on the 7-step drop, finds his man on the drag route. It's Buck Hunter for 6 yards into Auburn territory.
And who else? Buck Hunter, 7 receptions, 82 yards on the night.
2-by-2 set. Petty in the shotgun, takes the snap, hanging in. Auburn bringing pressure, and Petty shakes off the first man, fires it downfield, and short arms it. Lucky that wasn't a sack.
No, and lucky that wasn't a pick. You're happy that you short-armed that.
3-by-1 set for the Georgia Bulldogs. Petty in the shotgun, calling his audibles. Takes the snap, hanging in the pocket, fires it over the middle, has a man on a drag route. Walter Shaw for a 2-yard gain. Sets up a 3rd and 8, and Georgia's starting to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, don't really feel like you can afford to be throwing short routes. You need to be pressing the field with the urgency.
2-by-2 set, Petty in the shotgun, takes the snap, fires it deep down the right side, has a man behind the defense. Jaden Charles lays out for it, 1st down.
Nostradamus calls his shot. Nice to see the prediction there.
3-by-1 set, Petty in the shotgun, takes the snap, fires it over the middle, has a man, touchdown, Georgia, it ain't over yet.
Bulldogs cooking. They are not ready to go home just yet. Brandon Petty says, we're not going down like that. With a dart over the middle to Jaden Charles to now make this a little bit interesting here.
And they're going to go for 2 to see if they can make it a 3-point game. They've already have 1 2-point conversion tonight. 2 receivers to the top, or 2 tight ends to the top of the screen. Petty takes the snap, hanging in, fires it into traffic, and Jed O'Reilly, diving catch for the 2-point conversion. Over on Twitch, they have gone final. Florida takes the win over Tennessee, 39-33. And we have an onside kick coming here. Minute 54 left, 3 timeouts. And Auburn is all over that onside kick, and the Dogs rally. Ricky Morningstar on the recovery, but a minute 52 left, 3 timeouts. We are far from over.
No, but I didn't even get to make my jet plane cleared for takeoff joke there. Man.
I formation. Scally running left, has a big lane, gets a Tony 10. Timeout, Georgia.
Now, Kate, here's where I like Auburn more than Georgia. They can rely on Scally to get it done, and Scally is going to be relied on.
Scally again running right out of a heavy run formation, brought down, 4-yard gain, move the chains. Second timeout, Georgia. Jad McPherson on the tackle.
It's just going to keep seeing Scally getting called here. It's going to be that kind of night, Cade.
Scally's not on the field right now. It is the
he's not.
walk-on running left. Calvin Chambers for 3 yards. Final timeout, Georgia.
Auburn getting risky out there throwing the walk-on in big situations.
Scally is back out there now in the I formation. Duke turns around, hands it to Scally running right. Dogs all over it, breaks the first tackle, can't break the second. 3rd and 6.
Nope. And now if you're Auburn, this is going to be a big spot right here. Absolutely take the clock down and see what you can make out of it.
Yeah, they're not going to go in the true clock formation. They're going to manually bleed this down as much as they can. The clock will be at just under 1 minute by about 59 seconds when it is snapped. If I'm Auburn, I'm still running this ball, whether we get it or not. The clock is my friend right now, and I can't afford to throw it and have an incomplete pass.
Nate, you say that, and I just hear Pat McAfee.
Duke takes the snap. He's throwing it. He's taking a shot on the corner route, and it is landslide. Turned it upfield for the end zone, but he stepped out of bounds inside the 5, and Auburn is coming out in the best formation, victory formation.
Cade, if anybody on Auburn campus has that I'm him mentality, it is Jay Duke. That is a psychopathic call on 3rd, but it works to perfection, and they're going to walk off with the win tonight here, Cade.
I mean, the stones to throw it on 3rd and medium with the game on the line, and not only that, to scheme up your guy to be that wide open. And we have officially gone final. The Deep South's oldest rivalry ends in favor of Auburn. The Auburn Tigers go into Athens and take down Georgia 31-28. Dominic, wrap it up for us, buddy.
Beard said going into the game that we were going back to old school Auburn, and old school Auburn absolutely showed up. The familiar high-power offense was absolutely there. Turnovers are plenty on both sides, but you're going to expect turnovers when you go into the Deep South's oldest rivalry. And both teams just left everything out on the field tonight. Auburn just wanted it a little bit more, and they walk out. What a game by both teams. Both seasoned quarterbacks absolutely just proved why they're some of the best quarterbacks in the SEC tonight, Cade.
Yeah, Jay Duke, nearly 500 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and it was just a great battle between Petty and Duke, and Georgia has nothing to hang their hat on. Auburn just fought a little bit harder tonight. Both of these teams, fantastic job. You have been watching the CFSL presented by PX1 Sports on YouTube. Thank you to our executive producer, Mike Peters. Thank you to our associate producer and the lovely Austin Crow. My name is Cade Padgett. Joining me in the booth is Dominic Barfield. Don't go anywhere. Got about a 45-minute break. Coming up at 8:30, we have the Texas Longhorns traveling to Morgantown to take on the West Virginia Mountaineers in a Big 12 showdown. My name is Cade Padgett. We will see you in 45 minutes. Good night.